Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern. and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the first road course stop of the 6th season of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. After a long hiatus going all the way back to Season 2, Sonoma is back on the schedule, and it is our 8th race of the season, more than halfway home towards the All-Star race, and you gotta think that a lot of your road course drivers had today circled on their calendars an opportunity to be competitive up at the front and maybe be able to lock themselves a spot into the upcoming playoffs. I'm Seth Cole, joined by Nick Gunther and Ali Liera. We've got the crew back from the Clash Heats and LCQ in the early portion of the season. We're going to be calling it radio style here today at this 11-corner long road course in the Napa Valley area. I'm going to be covering up here in the skybox from the exit of turn 11 over to the downhill 3A to turn number 4, where Ali's going to be picking it up. And Ali, coming into today's race, it's an opportunity for drivers to be able to show off their road course prowess, but we've been seeing it all season long. It kind of seems like drivers, where they're not necessarily all that great at a particular track, this new next-gen car has really leveled the playing field.
You're definitely right about that, Seth. Like I said during the Clash Heats and the LCQ, basically, this next gen car, it's a complete level playing field. Nobody knows what to really do with it. That's how it is. We're all on level grounds here.
Ali's going to be covering from turn 4 over to around the middle of the S's, around 8A, where then Nick Gunther's going to be picking it up, bringing us down to turn 11. Now, Nick, obviously, you're very well known for your road course prowess. More often than not, the good starting track position is key in being able to finish up at the front. But a couple of weeks ago, when North Wilkesboro made its debut on the schedule, said that was probably going to be the case there. And then Daniel Voiles rolled off from the last row and went on to win the race. So is there a chance that drivers that didn't necessarily put down the best qualifying effort here today have a shot to be up there at the front to compete for this checkered flag at the end of this one?
Well, of course, they got to get up there, and it's really nice to be back in the booth, actually. They can get up there. They just have to drive fast, and they have to drive smart. This place has a few overtaking zones at turn 4, turn 7, and, of course, where I'm at all the way down here in turn 11 right before we go up the hill again on the front straightaway. You just got to be really smart with your passes, and if you play your cautions right or play your strategy correctly, you could get yourself up there, believe it or not.
7 races so far in the books. 7 different drivers have gone to victory lane. 3 of them have been rookies, the most recent Zachary Fitzwater last week at Indianapolis, but we got a couple of drivers we're going to have to keep an eye on here today. Joshua Osborne is 22nd in points. Chris Dalwerton, our Daytona 500 winner, all the way down in 36th. Remember, you have to be inside the top 25 in the point standings for your victory to count towards a playoff spot. So I know that we're not yet halfway through the regular season, but Ali, is it time to start hitting the panic button for a couple of these drivers? You've got to go out there and get that second win right now.
It's close enough to it. We're quarter of the way through. Being that low in points right now, heading into Sonoma, etc. You got to go. It's either go or die, basically. Not literally die, but you got to go for dubs here. It is what it is.
We obviously are going to be running a number of different road courses during the course of the season, and mention the fact it's been a while since these drivers have been to Sonoma. Puka Coat was actually the track that we ran from Season 3 to Season 5. So with that little bit of a hiatus here, Nick, is it going to take these drivers a little bit of time to get their Sonoma groove back?
I'm sure of it. I mean, they got some practice already under the belt, so at least they have some familiarity with the track. I mean, we've been over here for years, and I'm pretty sure a lot of road courses, believe it or not, tend to be the same, but except they're not. As long as you have that mentality that where you really need to turn left and turn right, you're able to be ready to go for this race.
Well, the Fords so far have the numbers as far as the momentum in terms of wins. They've got 4 trips to victory lane. Chevrolet has 3. But we still have the Toyotas trying to break into victory lane. Of course, the lone Mazda in the field as well, trying to get its first career win in Duracell Cup Series history. And the Fords, at least for now, look like they've got the good starting track position. Reese Banks, who is going to be the one to lead us to green. This is kind of similar to your Speedway looking grid, even though they end up having a right-hander for the final corner. Reese will be the inside line car once they cross the start-finish line. His first pole of his career. He's 40th in points, so talk about a driver that really needs to turn things around, and good starting track position might help him with that here today. Dylan Young, who had a solid outing last week at Indianapolis, he's going to roll off on the outside of the front row, and then row 2 made up of the Blue Ovals as well. Some veterans there in Jose Mills and Michael Norman. Norman's been on a bit of a momentum streak as of late. Mills has been starting to slide down just a little bit, and we'll have to see where the momentum goes for all 42 drivers here today. But it's time to get down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports, and go racing here at Sonoma.
Drivers, start your engines!
Would have liked to have been able to show you guys the starting grid during the full pace lap, but unfortunately, if we had them do the full pace lap, the entire outside line beached themselves over on the rumble strip off of turn 4. So instead, we have to do the half pace lap here, and you'll see the previous race winners. Only 2 in total have won here at Sonoma. William Brock in Season 1, and Ryan Brommer's the only defending winner. He won here in Season 2. Mentioned the fact that Sonoma, the last 3 seasons, was replaced by the New Zealand racetrack Pukaka on the schedule. So Sonoma is back. What kind of racing will it bring to the table? We're moments away from finding out. It's going to be rookie Reese Banks getting us underway here in Napa Valley. Up the hill towards turn number 1. 1 and 2 going to be a treacherous spot here. The sun's been beaten down on this racetrack. Of course, in California, it's always hot, it's always slick. And these drivers, they're going to be fighting for rear grip the longer this run goes on as Banks gets clear for the lead. Allie, they're headed your way.
As the 44 Reese Banks is heading down into the turn number 4, one of the chute now. Now we're heading down towards my favorite part of Sonoma as they're fanning out big time in the back. Going towards my favorite part, the S's, but very slow down through here. Left, right, left. It's all about the rhythm. Nick, they're coming to you next.
Reese Banks has really good control of this race so far. Like, he immediately gets away from Dylan Young in the number 2. He gets into the sand a little bit. He corrects himself, and the number 2 car is really going to pass Reese Banks there for the lead. As we head towards turn number 10, me and Dylan's just going to have a good corner here. This one's a little bit wide, but he's all right there. And now they're all just single file heading towards turn number 11. It's a good braking zone there. You got to be really careful and make sure you're not lock them front tires up. You don't want a flat spot this early in this run. Seth, they're coming back to you.
Yeah, we saw Reese Banks go really wide there in the S's. Very fortunate he got it back on the racing surface and only lost 1 spot as a result. Also nice to see that we're going to complete this first lap under green, because usually at the initial start of a road course race, you get them doubled up, wadded up. Everybody's going to be fighting tooth and claw to be able to get every position they possibly can, because you now see the field spreading out single file. It's kind of pick your moments, pick your battles, 1v1 battles, as Dylan Young was able to take advantage. He's out in front looking for his first win, but a long ways to go, Allie.
Definitely a long ways to go and a long time to get there as Dylan's heading towards my favorite part of the corner, down to that very hard braking zone into turn 7. They're still single file. However, you don't want to repeat of going through the S's of what happened to the 44 of Banks getting up into the dirt. Nick, they're on their way to you.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty clean so far. As long as at this point, if you're going to save your tires, you just don't want to make any sort of mistakes, as Michael Norman just clips the sand just a little bit. No harm, no foul. It's just really just clean racing so far here. I mean, you just gotta pick and choose your battles and make sure you. Look like the 38 just got a lot wide there a little bit. And he's gonna get past. Looks like on the inside by the number 8 of Matt Haas in the number 8 Bertle Roos Toyota.
I believe we've got a caution, guys. I think we've got a caution. I saw the red lights on there at the entrance of pit road, and indeed the flagman is waving the yellow flag. First caution of the day, coming to the completion of lap number 2. Not sure exactly where that would have been. Looked like everybody up towards the front was actually good to go. Maybe the 19 of Carson Gum, because Carson started this race from the 12th position, so I would assume it probably had something to do with the 19.
Get some Carson Gum.
Let's take a look and see what happened. Yeah, the former champ from Season 3. Looks like he's got some rear end damage, and this might have actually taken place all the way back at the start of... Well, actually, no. He didn't bring out the caution, because as we're going back to find a replay, this was back on lap 1, but it didn't bring out the yellow. Oh, okay. So,
hello.
So this did not bring out the caution, but this is Carson Gum and Samuel Ryder on the first lap. Curb hop there by the 19?
It looked like he just copped the curb just a little bit, and it just sent his back end into the wall. I mean, with the safety features of this car, I mean, it's going to be really tested to see if he'll be okay.
See if we can get another angle here. Couldn't really see with the elevation there, the camera angle. It was kind of low. We'll see if he catches the rumble strip here with another shot.
Yep, he clipped the sand.
He caught it.
I think it might have been with that right rear, or maybe wheel spinning the back end of that car, snapping it around and making the contact with the 63.
Absolutely, that's exactly what happened. And unfortunately, the 63 also got a bit of damage there as well. I mean, he'll be a little bit looser in the corners. I mean, that's fine, but he have to be really careful not to damage it any further.
So we're gonna try and use the pace car here to pinpoint exactly when the caution came out and who it was for. Actually, might have been something off of that treacherous turn 11, perhaps? Let's see. They get wadded up.
Whoa, look at Fitzy.
I don't see anybody going around. Oh, yep. 24, Reggie Fogelman.
Yep. Yep.
A little surprised the caution came out for that, because it looks like they got things settled out pretty quickly.
It looked like he had a little bit of help with Cody Lamas in the 13, that Florida Panther Chevrolet.
Fogelman, he was on fire at the start of this season, up inside of the top 10 in points, but he has since hit a bit of an ice wall as he has slid now to 21st in the point standings. And we're going to try and be as in-depth with these replays as possible. The only problem is with road course cautions, pit roads open the following lap, and then they get down to around, I think it's between turns 4 and 5, and the lights go out in the pace car. They get ready to go back green the following lap. So we got to make sure that we give you guys the replays, but at the same time, get back in time for when the green flag flies once again. Saw, about a dozen drivers came to pit lane here under this first yellow flag. None that were up towards the front. I kind of like this call, because we'll get to see what fresh tires can do.
Of course, but here's the question, though. How many else came down? I mean, you have that type of... I didn't really see how many came in, but if there's like a lot of people that come down pit road, by all means, go ahead. But it's this early, I wouldn't have come in, knowing that there's a lot of cars still out there on the old tires as well.
It's looking like the highest running driver that came to pit road was 23rd place Charles Sanford. A couple of others, Laura Chung was on pit road, Anthony McCurry, Noah Hendrickson, and then Samuel Ryder, Carson Gum, who we know got some damage from that Armco barrier there through the S's, that incident that didn't bring out the yellow. So we've had the double file start. Now all restarts up to this point will be single file, unless we have some lap machines. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for some of these guys to be able to pick up spots, but, I mean, how anxious would you be to try and force the issue when you climb the hill to turn 1?
You can't be overly aggressive. You just got to stay patient. And if you see the opportunity, go for it. But make sure you don't wreck that car in front of you, and try not to stack up the cars behind you because they might not have time to react either. Each braking zone, everybody's braking zone is just a little bit different than yours, and you have to anticipate that. So that's why in a lot of online races, you would definitely need to slow up a little bit before the car in front.
Dylan Young.
Very valid.
Great run last week for Dylan Young at Indianapolis. He's now up to 19th in the point standings, gained 12 spots. It's amazing that drivers are still gaining double-digit spots in overall points. Noah Hendrickson gained 11 spots up to 16th. There comes a point in the season where you can make up 6 or 7 spots, but normally not the double digits. We haven't apparently reached that point of the season, though, and drivers taking advantage of that with good finishes in the early going as stack up a little bit there off of turn 11. Dylan Young might be trying to see if he can jump this start and get away from the rest of the field. We'll see if he can do that. Flagman has the green flag in hand, and we are back underway here at Sonoma. Benjamin Miles going to be the first one to step out of line. That's on Jose Mills for the 5th position. There's a lot of drivers, a lot of big names that are down there in the cellar of the point stands, and Miles is one of those. He looked so good in preseason Thunder, but he has just not been able to find any momentum, still searching for his first top 10 as that battle continues. And now a battle for the lead here, Allie, heading down to you going into 4.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a battle for it was a battle for the lead for the second, but it wasn't there very much of it. But Mike was about to get past, possibly for third. Nope, slams the door on the 8 of Matt Haas. Nick, they're coming towards you, and it's about to get interesting that way.
Once again, well, Dylan Young, the number 2 Wawa Ford, manages to get away for the time being. But don't look now. That 44 car, ever since that little slip-up, I think he manages to clean his act a little bit. I think he's one of the faster cars on the racetrack right now. I mean, if he could just get around that 2 car and get himself into clean air, I think he could just smooth sailing. Because right now, these two are just really pulling away from each other. As we have the 22 car now, Michael Norman. He's getting pressured from behind by Matt Haas. Will he do anything to go into turn 11 with? No, but we have the 38 car also of Joe's Mills trying to make some work on the 8 car as well. Seth, up back to you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, too, coming into this race, this is about the closest the point standings have been, at least up towards the top of the board, since the season opener at Daytona. William Hoer, for about 3-4 weeks, had almost a 40-point lead back to second, but now, coming into this race, you've got the top 6 separated by less than 20 points. Hoer, Ali Liera, Matt Haas, Michael Norman, Mitchell Collins, Levi McIntyre. Any one of those drivers, dependent on where they finish today, could be heading into next week as the new points leader.
You're very, very right about that, Seth. I mean, you got to be consistent. You got to finish strong on a road course. I mean, that's the main thing. And it's still looking single file, nice and quiet after the little mishap into turn 11. Nick, over to you.
Like you said, it's really quiet as of now. I mean, you don't want to waste your rear tires. Sonoma can be a little bit unforgiving when it comes to that sort of thing on the rear tires as the run goes on. So you definitely don't want to abuse those rear tires that much. As we have a look at Richard Johnson here in a 93 Amoco Ford. It's a nice looking paint scheme. I always love that little Dave Blaney throwback there. Yeah, everyone just being very quiet, very patient. You definitely do not want to push those tires as he comes down to turn number 11. Seth, they're coming back to you.
Eric Johnson's second highest running rookie right now. He gained 6 spots after last week, now up to 30th in points, and caution's out again. Yellow flag out, and I'm going to tell you what, guys, this is a big break because I was going to mention 4 drivers got hit with a restart violation. They included James Qualls, Laura Chung, Noah Hendrickson, and Cody Lamas. They all served that penalty, and this caution is going to allow them to bunch back up and stay on the lead lap. So they caught a break right there.
That is a big, big break.
Oh, Benjamin Miles.
No.
He cannot seem
What
to be able to find any luck this season.
What a bang. What in the heck happened?
The whole bumper's off. It looked like he just went down the pit road once already with that.
Yeah? Oh, Cody.
There's the 4 cars right there that got hit with the speed penalty. Is that Keith Batson on pit road, 39? Yeah, and there's another car
It
further
is.
up. That's Fitzwater, last week's winner from Indy.
I wonder what the heck happened there to cause all that.
So this must have been a multi-car incident, unless the Benjamin Miles thing might have been unrelated. You mentioned it looked like he had already been to pit road, so maybe he had something happen that didn't bring out the caution. Yeah, that was the case.
Yeah,
So Let's see what
Yeah,
the
he was already
25
got
had
pit road.
happened to him first. Oh, teammates!
That's gonna be
Uh-oh.
that's gonna be a very interesting team meeting Monday.
Jack Dunnard, rookie winner this season from Phoenix. Oh gosh, man, that's even
it's
worse
it's
than the
the
curb hop that Carson
the
Gum
same-
had.
Yeah, it's the same one. Oh, right in the driver's side door, too.
Ouch.
Oh, it's the same wreck as the last caution.
And
Literally,
then
just this time it's the 88 curb hopped.
they almost were 4 wide through the S's.
They were.
We called 4 wide at Bowman Gray. We almost called 4 wide right there at Sonoma.
But the question remains, what happened to Batson and Fitzy? My
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, there's also, I just noticed an 89 of Quentin Moore was way back. See if we can find out what happened to him, and then we'll take a look and see what happened to Fitzwater. Oh, this was this was at the restart going up the hill. Quentin Moore is going to get some help from Batson in the 39.
Oh, hello. Kaboom.
Didn't hit anything though. Those tires, they'll rip your car apart. He's very
They
fortunate
will.
that it was on a restart. He wasn't up at full song.
I've known my years of experience at NR. Definitely, those tire barriers are not forgiving whatsoever.
They really aren't.
Now let's see if we can find out what happened to Fitzwater and Keith Batson.
Well, Evans kicked up some dirt in the back, too, a little bit, I noticed.
Trying to pinpoint the 66. There he is.
Right there. You just
And let's see if we can find out, does it start with him? Or does it begin maybe with Batson, who was quite a ways up there? Oh, wow.
Oh, what
the-
in the
Fitzy-
world?
Fitzy blew. Looked like Fitzy blew
I
up.
think he blew up. Oh, no, he
No!
got hooked. Okay, so this was after they'd taken the caution. We're going to have to go back and even find out what the caution was for. This was after they took the yellow flag. Dylan Poteet and Zachary Fitzwater getting together as they were getting ready to slow for the yellow.
just hooked him.
That's a hard hit.
And look at all the drivers that got bits and pieces. That Turner, I saw Shelton, Sanford, LaPlante, Collins.
God,
What the heck?
that's no safer barrier either. Oh, did you notice the back end just pop up?
Let's take another look. Again, this was not what brought the caution. Now, this was after they'd taken the yellow. Man.
Oh my God.
No, straight onto the wall.
Nathan Ormond
that's-
also in that in the 34.
Brother.
Okay, so still the question, what the heck brought this caution out?
What the heck did they just bring out the caution?
The heck is a caution for? We got to rack off. I thought it was
Was
the.
it the 39 perhaps? Oh, I think this is what brought the caution out. Batson and McIntyre, same spot.
Oh my goodness.
That has
Same
been
song,
that's
third
been-
verse, Nick.
That has been such. It really. Oh, yeah, that is the same thing. Oh my goodness.
And back. Oh,
Oh.
yep. Back.
Oh yeah, okay.
The
The
back
back end
is
just
bouncing
merged
like-
with the wall.
You're not going
Yep.
anywhere, son.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's a definite toe. You
That's-
ain't getting out of that one.
Yeah, that's death. And I think we. Oh, we're not going back.
We
What? They get some Carson
I think-
Gum is
Yeah.
leading?
We
What?
had most of the drivers come to pit road. A number of them elected to stay out.
I think because
Carson
they picked him
Gum,
in that last
who-
caution.
Was involved in the first incident of the day. Not the first caution, but the first incident of the day. He's now out in front. No rear bumper. You don't need a bumper here at Sonoma, right?
Forget
Nah,
about it.
Forget
Rear
about
downforce.
it.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, you're right.
So
All
it's
right,
like,
Seth, get ready to call this year.
looks like Gum, Chung, Qualls, Hendrickson. That's the top 4. Couldn't see who the 5th place driver is. Our telemetry is all goofed up because of when the drivers come to pit road, the scoring doesn't update until they cross the line the next time. So that's actually Cody Lamas who's going to restart in the 5th position. And we're back underway. Zachary Fitzwater, no surprise, that heavy impact into the concrete barrier just past the start-finish line. He is done for the day. So the highs of the Brickyard win last week to the lows of the first driver in the garage area here today at Sonoma. Everybody else is still running and on the lead lap as a couple of wounded cars up front. Skid marks on the right side of the 77 and no bumper on the 19, Allie.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought having a race at Sonoma turned into the battle of the fittest without a back bump for Carson and a side damage for Laura? Oh my gosh, Nick, they're coming to you, and my goodness. I don't want to jinx anything, but will it happen again?
I'm certain that it will probably happen at some point. I mean, it seems to be like more like towards the back. Like the people in the front are just able to dig it with no problem. As okay, we saw a little bit of action. People were getting into the dirt there. We have the 26 of Daniel Voiles just got sucked into the sand a little bit. And there's oh no, we got a spin. We got the 48. We got the 48 of Austin LaPlante. We got the 83 of Will Hoer. And that might be another caution, guys.
Let's see.
As we headed towards turn number 11,
Yep.
see if they're going to keep it clean here. I don't see any caution lights.
It is a caution. It is indeed a caution. Saw the lights there, the red lights at the entrance of pit road.
Yeah, my mistake. I did not see the caution. I was just too busy commentating on that part.
That,
No, you're good.
that caution's not good for a couple of drivers. I don't know what's going on with the restarts here. I don't know if they're just getting stacked up or whatnot, but we had almost, I think it was 4 drivers get hit with a black flag restart violation, including Ali Liero, Will Hoer, well, that's kind of a moot point now for the 83, Samuel Ryder, and Quentin Moore. And the problem is, with that caution coming out, that penalty has to be served under green, so they can't serve that penalty until the upcoming next restart.
That's very unfortunate. I mean, it's not like we can clear blacks or whatnot. This ain't like an online race, I'm afraid. So we can't like just make them go start at the tail end. I mean, that's going to be a huge, costly penalty for those guys that have that restart violation. I was just about to talk about with Carson Gum pitting on that last caution. Maybe that really benefited him for having all that damage, because now he's leading this race because he pitted on that last caution. If we have a look at the replay of the wreck.
And that's your points leader, William Hoer, that was collected up in that one. Mentioned the fact that he started out the season so strong, had picked up a victory at Las Vegas, his 3rd career start, and he is in danger now of losing the points lead for the first time in the last 3 or 4 weeks. As we're going to get another angle here, and you know, the 48 clearly gets loose. But I'm almost wondering if he gets into the back of the 55 a little bit, because they were all stacked up after the 26 came back on the racetrack.
I'll have to take another look at this. It might have looked like he did take a little bit of the 55, but wasn't so sure about that one. It looked like the 48 was just trying to check up maybe for the 55, and just lost it back in. And unfortunately, the 83 had nowhere to go.
And you talk about those tire barriers, they are unforgiving, and as a result, Austin LaPlante and William Hoer, their days are done. LaPlante will get 40th, and Will Hoer will get 41st. They join Zachary Fitzwater back in the garage area. LaPlante came into this race 12th in points. That's 2 drivers right there that were doing really well. Came into this race in playoff positions. As a little contact there, James Qualls in the back of Laura Chung.
A little friendly. Hi.
Yeah, just a little bump.
It looks like Carson Gum just went back in the pit road. I wonder what
He
that's
did.
for. I'm not sure if it's a strategy call or just repairing some more damage, but I don't think that was the proper move there.
Giving up a lot of track position, but I mean, with the fact that we are now working our 3rd caution of the day and we just completed lap 10, I mean, second half of this race really could come down to pit strategy. So, you know, you work these road course races from finish to start, work them in reverse, and maybe the 19 feels if they pit now and this thing goes green to the end, then they might have to make only 1 less pit stop than everybody else.
I mean, that's true, but we need to see how long is this fuel run? Because I think we just only had maybe 3 laps of fuel, and we could just save a whole lot here on the road courses, a lot more than you could think. So we could actually go a little bit longer than what you think.
We're going to go back because we've got the moment and look at another replay. I'm just now seeing that Dylan Poteet in the 31 and Rick Johnson in the 93 have retired from the race, and I'm not certain why. Well, there's front-end damage on Poteet here under pacing. Did he get into somebody else again here on another restart? Or coming to another caution, I should say?
Oh, why though?
No.
Oh, it looked like the 93 was on the grass or in the sand a little bit.
Oh,
Is this coming to
there
the
it
restart?
is. So this was coming to the restart for the 31. Oh, gosh.
Oh gosh, what the heck happened
That was
there?
Collins and Turner. This is what actually brought out the caution. It wasn't the 48 and the 83. Turner got into it with the 33 of Mitchell Collins, and then Poteet was an innocent bystander. And it looks like Rick Johnson might have been involved because he's slow going up the hill.
He might be a little bit shaken up. Either that or he just has a lot of engine damage, and you do not want to have that here.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, he looked like he got involved in something else.
That's Caleb Fogler up ahead, getting muscled into the wall. I think that might have been the 16 that got him, and then Rick Johnson runs into him. These restarts have been treacherous. My goodness. So
Yep,
that
they seem
is
to
what
be
brought
that
the
way.
caution out. Okay, then.
They're just not showing their patience in the back. I understand you really want to get up to that front, but you gotta stay a little bit patient to get up there. You gotta be smart. You gotta, as I said at the top of the show, you gotta pass smart, but you also gotta drive fast as well. You have to figure out where you're gonna pick your battles from.
And that's the funny thing too, right? Because before we ended up coming on the air, you looked at the 44 laps, Nick, and you said, "Oh wow, that's just a longer one for them."
And I still stand by my case for offline racing like this.
So Laura Chung, well, actually, just saw the.
Oh, looks like we're not going back green.
Yeah, lights are back
Yeah,
on the pace car.
But the pace car is in. That's strange. What happened? Are they not all aligned?
I'm not sure if maybe somebody might have spun through the final turn 11 there or something. We'll get one more lap, I guess. Here.
Yeah, that was weird.
So Poteet and Rick Johnson, after what we saw there past the start-finish line, they're now out of the race as well. 5 drivers in total back behind the wall. One thing we can do with the fact we have this extra lap is we can give you an accurate top 10 rundown, because nobody came to pit lane on that lap, at least up at the front of the field. So Laura Chung's going to be the one to bring us back to green, trying to become the fourth different rookie to go to victory lane this season in only 8 races. James Qualls will line up in second, Noah Hendricks in third, Cody Lamas is fourth, Jose Mills fifth, and Dylan Young in sixth. Seventh will be Michael Norman, Matt Haas eighth, Ryan Butcher's ninth, and pole sitter Reese Banks is going to complete the top 10. Bears mentioning, we ended up showing the previous winners graphic earlier on of William Brock and Ryan Brommer back in season 1 and 2, but bears mentioning the previous winners from Pukaca as well, since it kind of became the Sonoma replacement. James Qualls, Charles Belding, and Zach Rogers were the 3 previous winners from that racetrack, and Qualls up here in a good spot in that number 70. As a matter of fact, if I recall correctly, that season 3 victory at Pukaca for Qualls, that's the last time that he's gone to victory lane in his career, so it's been a long winless streak for that driver out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports.
It really, really is.
Alright, so hopefully this time we're going to get ready to go back green. Not sure where Laura Chung got her damage from. I'm trying to recollect back to the replays we looked at where she might have sustained that right side damage.
I think she was involved in like one of the early bits of it, I thought. With the 19, I thought. I might be wrong. I might be thinking something else.
Cosmetic damage, aero damage like that, can that affect a car at a road course, Nick? Or is it kind of like the short track mentality of it may not look pretty, but it can still run?
From my experience when it comes to like road racing online, the aero damage isn't so bad. I mean, it does affect your turning a little bit depending on which side it is on. It does affect the top speed a little bit, but I know I meme a lot about it on super speedways where any little bit of aero damage in super speedway, you're done. But in road courses and short tracks, they don't mean that much. I mean, it shouldn't be that bad anyway. I mean, these are really heavy stock cars, and at road courses, their aerodynamics with these things aren't exactly the greatest. It's not like a Formula 1 car as we get ready for the restart.
Laura Chung getting ready to get us back under the green, about to lead her 3rd lap of the day. She'll have James Qualls, Noah Hendricks, and Cody Lamas and Jose Mills behind her as lap 13 goes on the board, and they're already stacked up double wide here, and we got a spinner again. That time it's Matt Haas.
Oh, man.
Chris Dollarton's got front-end damage as well, and the caution is back out again. These drivers, they are being ultra-aggressive on these restarts, and it is costing them.
It is absolutely costing. I'm like, what in the heck's going on? Like, are they driving with their heads up through a body cavity that I don't dare mention on broadcast? Nick, bring me, please.
I mean, it's just that mentality. I mean, I don't know what the heck is going on with these guys. I mean, I've known a lot of races where a lot of people's Achilles heels is just them. I mean, myself included, at one point, where you just drive a little bit overly aggressive and just cost somebody else's and like your own reputation if you take someone out, but you can also cost yourself and end your day pretty early if you're not careful. I mean, you're still pretty much far in the back. You still got 30 laps to go, or at least 32 more coming to 31. You still have a long way to go to this race. You have to be very patient, and you have to make your passes cleanly. I know everyone's getting antsy, but it's just now's not the time.
Crew chiefs have got to be throwing their playbooks up in the air like, why the heck did I even bother to put all this math together? We're just running under these pacing laps, and it's completely messing up the strategy I had in place.
I feel that way all the time, especially when I race online. I've been known for like I've been known for more like my strategy calls or whatnot, how I help a lot of people win their races. I mean, like it just gets frustrating when you have yellow after yellow after yellow, and you just can't get a good run going. You can't get a good. You can't get a.
What happened to
yeah,
Quinn?
saw some engine smoke there.
You just can't seem to get a good run going, so you can't have an idea how the car will feel. Is what I'm trying to say.
Not sure if Quentin. Oh, Quentin was involved in
that's
incident in the
that's
S's.
a secondary.
So we'll look at that afterwards. We're gonna find out first what happened to Matt Haas and Chris Dollarton crossing the start-finish line. Yeah, it seems like most of these wrecks that take place at the initial restarts are drivers trying to force the issue 3 wide, and it's just too narrow. You can't do that there.
Oh, you can't do that!
I mean, I've raced in leagues where they will do that without consequence.
Well, Anthony McCurry went around back there too with Mitchell Collins. And then we mentioned that Quentin Moore had a moment. We'll follow the 89 here down to the S's. Charles Sanford in the 03, I think behind him might have been the other car that went around. And this is going to be showing you what ended Quentin's day. Quentin 35th in points. It's not been a good start to the year for the rookie out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports. And is it going to be the same spot of the racetrack again here through the S's, perhaps?
Maybe. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Survey says
Yep.
hello.
Survey says hello.
Charles
Boom.
never even made the corner. Oh, and then the 16 comes
Yeah, but
sliding
16
in.
just says like, hello, I want to be
Mind
part
if
of
I
this
play
too.
through?
Yeah, sure, why not? Why not, Ali Liera? Why not?
Damn you, Nick.
Caution's out for the 4th time today. That's leading to begging the question, are we even going to get a green flag run in here? Sonoma and road courses very well known for the pit strategy, since most of the time you have the local yellows and you don't have cautions fly nearly as much.
You see, for this type of situation, when you know for a fact the caution is basically at this point, this is the part where I would think, like, okay, all these cautions are going to come out basically every lap or two. So I might as well just, if I get to the point where I know I'm going to make it, that's when I'll make my only pit stop.
Well, Dylan Young pitted the lap, or the caution prior, so he stayed out. Or actually, he pitted 2 cautions ago, so with staying out now, he'll re-inherit the race lead, but I don't know, I kind of feel like it's coming back to bite me, because the last couple of races, there have been long green flag runs, there's been a caution that shakes everything up, and I've been like, wow, this has been setting quite an interesting trend, and now here today at Sonoma, they're like, nope, you get all the cautions at the beginning, we'll give you your green flag run at the end of the race.
It's just survival of the fittest, and that's just how it is.
Chris
People just gotta be
Dollarton-
smart with this war of attrition.
Chris Dollarton, we saw get that front end damage when he ran to the back of Matt Haas. He is out of the race, and that's huge. I know it's still early on in the season, but still worth highlighting the fact that Dollarton kicked off the season with that Daytona 500 victory, and now 7 races later, he comes into an event 36th in points. He needs to be in the top 25 in overall standings for that Daytona 500 victory to count towards a playoff spot. If Dollarton misses the playoffs this season, it would be the first time in Duracell Cup Series history that the Daytona 500 winner does not battle for the championship.
There's still plenty of time left to go, though. I mean, we still have a lot more races to go before we get to that playoffs. I wouldn't assume anything as of right now, especially the way his race has been.
So Dylan Young in the 2, Michael Norman in the 22. They're going to be the top 2. That's a lot of 2s. Reese Banks will be 3rd. Joshua Osborne 4th, and Kyle Matthews now up here in the 5th position. There's been a bit of a renaissance for S3 Motorsports the last couple of weeks. Shelton, Deaver, Matthews, they were all outside the top 30 in points a few weeks ago, and now the lowest running driver of that team in point standings is Shelton in 37th. The other three are up inside of the top 30, so they've been turning it around here in terms of good finishes and points positioning here. Pace cars getting very used to diving onto pit road. This will be the 4th time that Toyota TRD pace car is going to head for pit lane, at least for a restart. And let's see, fingers crossed, can they actually mind their P's and Q's through the first couple of corners? I mean, they did a great job at the initial start of this race, and they were double wide. You'd think they'd be able to handle a single file restart, as I saw a couple of drivers just now leaving. Was that Qualls and Laura Chung? I don't know why they were
I see the 77 just leaving pit road.
Why were they just now leaving? I don't know. I'll follow up on that.
That's an issue, but they got to hurry because the field's coming.
Green flag back in the air. We're going to just cycle through the middle of the pack, make sure they all make it. Ooh, Carson Gum into the grass a little bit. We're still green. I see the green lights are still on. Looks like the battle's going to be for around the 3rd position, Allie. Reese Banks, Michael Norman.
I mean, Michael and Reese are going right at it. I think Michael might have the momentum carrying. No, maybe. Nope. Still double file heading your way, Nick.
Right now, I just think I see that. Nope. Here comes the 2 car of Dylan Young. He's ready to just trying to get lap these cars. Now, you kind of not want to be a lap down at this track. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get your lap back. But I think the lucky dogs should be, if there is one in this series, I'm not too sure. We should be able to save them. But right now, that 44 is coming. But now he's getting all over the back of it. There's someone in the grass. It's the 98 of RJ Bishop. He seems to be okay. What I was trying to say is that not that 44 car. You definitely want to watch out. But here comes Michael Norman trying to get an overtake on that 44. Back to you.
I'm pretty sure I saw in the background there going through the S's, a couple of cars went around, but no caution. I think it was Carson Gum. The other one might have been the 39 of Keith Batson. It was a red machine, so it would have either been Batson or Samuel Ryder. Not certain which one exactly it was. You guys will be able to see it courtesy of the NNSCRA split cam, as now Reese Banks firmly in control of 2nd place. Battle will be on for 3rd, and yeah, Dylan Young, he wants to put those cars a lap down if he can. To your point, Nick, there is no lucky dog, so if you get trapped a lap down, it's going to take a long time for you to get that lap back. Noah Hendrickson in the 80 is another driver that's just up ahead here as well, and these were, if I recall correctly, these were the top 3, the last restart prior to the one we just had.
They were. I don't know what the heck happened with that. I mean, we're going to have to take a look at that and see, like, what has caused them to be like that. I mean, that must have had, like, a long pit cycle or whatnot. I mean, here we have the 80 car of Noah Hendrickson. I mean, he's being pursued by James Qualls. But also behind him is the 77 of Laura. But it is also being pursued by the race leader of Dylan Young. I have to say to you guys, is just run, drive fast. Don't even worry about saving your tires. Get the heck out of there.
That's got to be the worst feeling if you're Dylan Young, because normally at a road course, you're out in front, you got clean racetrack. But no, he's got traffic up ahead that he has to deal with, and there's the 24 of Reggie Fogelman coming off of pit lane. Now, he did actually come to pit road because he was one of the drivers that had gotten a restart violation. All drivers that got the restart violations, they have served them and returned to the racetrack, but Fogelman is going to lose a lap in the process, it looks like. So tough break there for the 24 car.
Definitely a tough break indeed. I mean, like you said, Dylan doesn't have to really worry about traffic but on a road course, but he is right now, and I'm like, what in the world? This is unfamiliar territory for him. Nick, take it away.
You see, if I was driving in that number 2 car right now, I'd be fuming. Honest to goodness. Like, cause why in the world would I have all this lap traffic right in front of me as the restart would occur? I want my clean air if I'm going to be the leader. I really want that. But now I have to put that thoughts aside, and I have to go around these guys either cleanly or smartly, because these guys are going to be fighting really hard to make sure they're staying on that lead lap. I mean, that 77 car is trying her best to stay on that lead lap as we head down to turn number 11. I mean, we got the 44 car of Reese Banks, our pole sitter, he's getting a little bit closer to that 2-car. Don't worry, this battle is going to be heated up, especially with the lap traffic being in front of the 2-car.
Chung, Qualls, Hendrickson, and Lamas have had their prayers answered. The caution is out. They stayed ahead of the leader, Dylan Young, so they will be able to go back around and catch up to the tail end of the field. It's our 5th caution of the day.
We have a lot to look at here.
Yeah. Looks like Jack Dunnard and Keith Batson had just come
There's
off
no
pit
hood
road
on that
as well.
car.
No hood, no nose.
39,
Wasn't
I'm
it-
pretty sure, came to pit road to repair damage. I'm pretty certain he and Carson Gum were the 2 I saw that got together in the S's but didn't bring out a yellow. But that doesn't answer who it was that went around. We've got a lot of candidates. There's a lot of torn up cars at the back. A lot of candidates of who the caution could have been. As
Who
Miles
is
and
he?
Matthews are on pit road. That would have been a closed pit road, too, for those drivers.
Yep. As the saying goes, who it be?
Well, let's see if we can find out. We'll actually use the pace car here to be able to pinpoint exactly what incident it was that brought out the yellow flag. And it looks like it would have been rather early into a lap. Getting close to halfway in this race, but still a long ways to go as... Where was this at?
Batson was on pit road at that point.
I'm not seeing anyone out of shape.
Well,
All right, there's
we were
caution
going.
lights. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did someone run into the 24 when he came off pit road?
Yeah.
It looked from that debris. It looked like it. Let's see.
Reggie
Let's take a
Fogelman
look.
was
Is it a
coming
Kevin
off-
LePage merge?
Oh, it's Kyle
Oh!
Matthews.
That was.
Oh,
that wasn't,
Kyle.
that wasn't even a Kevin LePage merge either. It just happened to be like that's where you merge. That sucks so much for Kyle Matthews there to just be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's a lot of front end damage on that We the Coaster Chevrolet. He was running up inside of the top 15, I believe. He was actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was running 7th. And no, he was 6th. Let's go on board and just show you how quickly it happened here. To your point, Nick, it's almost like, the 24 didn't do anything wrong. That's actually the merge point. It's just an unfortunate time of being in the same area.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate. Oh, yeah, that's just the wrong place, wrong time. I mean, it's just the AI that probably didn't see that car coming out like that so much. I mean, I'm not sure how the AI lines kind of work when it comes to that sort of thing. That was just very, very unfortunate for Kyle Matthews to be in that weird position like that.
Now we showed you.
That wasn't even a Kevin LePage merge either. That's where you're supposed to merge.
We showed you with the split cam the Carson Gum incident through the S's. We're going to show you here what has apparently taken Benjamin Miles out of the race. He's going to get together with the only former winner here at Sonoma, Ryan Brommer, that's in the field today.
Ouch. I guess you could say that Twix bar is broken into a million pieces.
They have not
Will there
been
be a
able to
left and a
master
right
that
Twix
curve.
on that one then?
That's the Twix nobody talks about, Nick. We don't talk about that Twix at all.
That's a bit of a heartbreak there for Ryan Brommer in that 87, though. I mean, if you have a little bit of damage, like they think he could still go out there. It looked like he was running with no problem. I mean, as long as you don't have that engine damage, then you're fine.
So Dylan Young gave up the lead. Michael Norman gave up 3rd. They came to pit road. I believe also was Jose Mills, I believe, was the other driver that came to pit lane that was up there at the front. So the landscape of the front of the field changes just a bit. Reese Banks takes the lead. RJ Bishop moves up to 2nd. Benjamin Snyder to 3rd. Voiles up there to 4th, looking for his 2nd career win in 3 races. And then looks like the top 5 is going to be completed by the Toyota of Ryan Butcher. But it looks like now as we start closing in towards the halfway, drivers at least that had the track position, they're starting to make plans now in terms of maybe trying to make a race winning strategy call of giving up the track position at this point in time.
I think that's exactly what the 2-car of Dylan Young did. I mean, he could probably make it on to the end of the race from this point forward. So if he plays the cards right, that might be the race-winning move.
So Reggie Fogelman did get trapped a lap down. I do not believe that we have double file restarts here. No, we don't. So there will not be a lap car for race leader Reese Banks to have to contend with this. The 12 of Destin Bolin, you see there, pulling out of
Yeah,
line.
he's coming to pit road.
Yeah, he's coming to pit lane. Not sure what that's about. Follow up on that. Lap 20 about to be completed. 24 laps to go here at Sonoma Raceway. Charles Sanford, the 03, still sitting on pit lane there as well. We know he's got some damage from an earlier incident, but Reese Banks going to lead us down and get us back under the green flag here. And again, we're going to cycle back through the field, make sure they all make it through this corner safely.
Holy moly.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Oh, no.
They tried to wreck. Oh!
Oh, they did.
No. Oh, guys. You know
Oh,
that's not
no.
going to work at that point.
Hendrickson
Oh,
and Carson
no.
Gum. And that was at the very
Caution.
tail end of the field, unfortunately, too. We're wrecking for last place, apparently.
Caution's out for, I think, the 6th or 7th or 8th time, and Carson has been a part of 3 of them.
It's not been a good season so far for the former champ from Season 3. 33rd in points. He's had 2 top 10s, but his average finishing position has been about 25th.
Might want to take a look through the S's there, just to be safe as well.
Oh,
Up, as I say, there it is.
Chung and Osborne. Chung had just gotten back at the tail end of the lead lap with that last caution.
I hate to say it, that was not a pretty 7-7-7.
Joshua Osborne, former winner this season from Pocono, involved, and Reese Banks will lead us back to our 6th caution of the day. I guess if there's any saving grace, it's the fact that we don't have to sit through like 5 or 6 pacing laps. We only have like 2 pacing laps here, really, that we have to deal with. They get back green rather quickly, but well, we kind of caught the tail end of it. Let's take a more in-depth look of the Noah Hendrickson-Carson Gum incident here. And yeah, Carson's been in the thick of quite a bit of the wrecks here today at Sonoma.
No breaks
Yeah.
for him whatsoever.
I thought we were going to get through it, and then it's just the very tail end of the field is where they decide to have the wreck.
Yep.
I've been in a lot of online races where it's just like that. At the very tail, you had one job, just settle in, and just couldn't do it.
You think it's a case of desperation for some of these drivers back here? I mean, you've been involved in a couple of incidents, you've lost a ton of track position, and your crew chief is telling you, you know, there's 24 laps to go, and then there's 10 laps to go, and then there's 5 laps to go, and the sense of urgency to pick up spots, pick up those valuable points suddenly sets in, and you start making moves that maybe under normal circumstances you wouldn't. Actually, that actually started with James Qualls. He hooked the 80 of Noah Hendrickson.
Well, that depends on the amount of context of 20 laps to go. I mean, 20 laps to go on a short track, I mean, yeah, you gotta go. But on 20 laps to go for a track like this, you gotta still, you know, have the mentality like, okay, yes, we've been back here so many times today. Just look, be patient, stay calm, and just take care of any of those incidents, you know, that happen in front of you. Pick up the pieces and just have a smooth drive. Unfortunately, that's not been the case though so far for the 19 of Carson Gum.
You saw Destin Bolin come to pit lane just prior to them getting the green for that restart. He's returned to the track. He's still on the lead lap, so that caution saved him. But Reggie Fogelman and Charles Sanford, they will both be a lap down as pit road's open. Looks like we got most of our leaders coming down pit road here.
And this will definitely benefit the number 2 if he stays out. Definitely, because he pit under that last caution. He's going to gain all that track position back, but the problem is you're going to have a whole... I mean, we barely only have like 1 lap of tires on this run. We should be okay for that tire advantage. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but the 2 cars should be right up towards the front if he didn't come down the pit road.
Mitchell Collins, our winner from Manassas. Looks like he's going to inherit the lead.
Wait, I don't see the 2 car. What happened? Where did he be?
He did not stay out.
Did he went
Interesting.
back in?
He went back in.
That is not the right move.
No, that's surprising.
That has to be like an unscheduled. There must be something wrong with that car then, because that has to be unscheduled.
Looks like the cars that stayed out, Collins, Keith Batson, Kyle Matthews, Caleb Vogler, Ryan Brommer, Joshua Osborne, and Destin Bolin. So 7 drivers stayed out. Everybody else was on pit lane. It's the halfway point, so maybe the final pit stop of the day for all those drivers, but we'll wait and see what culminates here.
And some of these guys who've just been like through literal hell today are just literally living on a prayer right now. You can see the I think that's the 39 of Keith Batson, has no rear end, and I believe that's the 09 of Kyle Matthews. I mean, they're driving without some body parts on that car. They're really trying to salvage what they can.
Yeah, they're going through a little hell. You're right, Nick. I mean, the 09's a modified.
Well, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast about, I said at North Wilkesboro, track position was going to be very important, and we ended up having a driver that rolled off the grid 41st that took the checkered flag. Well, a look at the grid from today, and a lot of drivers that started near the rear of the field. We've seen them up here at the front at some point or another. James Qualls was actually up in second spot at one point of this race, and he started dead last. So looking like Sonoma kind of playing along the same lines as North Wilkesboro, where the track position early on doesn't necessarily matter with the fact we've had so many yellows and we got so many torn up race cars. But next week, guys, we head to Texas Motor Speedway, not the ugly reconfigured one, the more modern one.
Thank God.
We go to the older version.
The good one?
It's been a while since these drivers have been at 1.5 miles. You got to go back to Las Vegas. They've been at 2.5 mile speedways and short tracks, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get back into the 1.5 mile groove. Las Vegas was where William Howard picked up his first career win, and with a DNF here today and possibly losing the points lead, he's got to be pretty happy that we've got a speedway next up on the schedule. As who was that just peeled?
We have another car coming down the pit road.
It's Osborne, 27.
Are these guys just missing pit road by accident because of the field, or I don't understand what's going on with the AI like this?
Not sure. We've got some drivers on pit road still there. Turner, Orman, Reggie Fogelman, Levi McIntyre, and the lights are back on the pace car.
I'll take the pace car drivers being drunk for 500, please, Alex.
I think the reason that the lights keep coming back on, I might be wrong, I think when they're going through 11, I think like the middle of the pack, they come to a stop. And I think the pace car is reading that as that somebody is spun or something. I don't know if that's the case or not. We just got to make sure they keep rolling through that corner. So,
like I said, I'll take the pace cars being drunk for 500, please, Alex.
I wouldn't say the pace car is being drunk. I would say like people are just not lining themselves up properly, and of course the tower is just thinking at this point like, okay, people are not lining up, so we have to come back out and make sure everyone else is aligned.
So basically, you're saying improper lineup formation for 500, please, Alex?
Illegal formation. It's isn't that a 10-yard penalty or is that a 5-yard penalty?
I think
second
that's
down. It's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, while we got the chance, we'll give you the rundown of your current lap leaders today. Dylan Young has been out in front for 12 laps. That's the most of any driver here today. 4 laps have been led by Laura Chung, 3 laps led by Reese Banks, and then 2 laps led apiece by Carson Gum and your current race leader, Mitchell Collins, who will lead his 3rd lap once he comes around. Actually, no, I amend my statement. Dylan Young has not been the driver that's led the most laps here today. Whoever's driving that Toyota pace car has led the most laps here today, 17 laps in total.
That's the correct statement.
Now, can the pace car get a bonus point?
I'm pretty sure it can.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
here's
sure.
a thought. If the race ends under caution, the pace car is the first one that crosses the line. So does the pace car get a playoff spot?
I mean, Brett Bodine could finally win an actual race.
Ooh, hot takes. Hot takes.
Hold on. I disagree with that sentiment.
Is either that or Elmo Langley.
Brett Bodine won North Wilkesboro in 1990.
Yeah. Was it because of the scoring error or what?
Yeah, it was.
That was an asshole race.
So you want to call that race an asterisk?
Won a race
Perhaps.
on a technicality.
Essentially.
Okay. Anyway, while I'm fighting with the 2 best friends in the booth, Seth, they're getting ready to come to you.
I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago at Indianapolis, Daniel Voiles on the finishing results was the race winner, but it showed him as retired, so I mean, you know, technicality, asterisks, whatever. Mitchell Collins getting ready to bring us back to the green. First time the 33 has been out in front today. Mentioned the fact we've had 7 different race winners. Maybe today we'd have our first repeat winner, and Collins would love to be that driver, as he'll lead Keith Batson, Kyle Matthews, Caleb Fogler, and Ryan Brommer back to the green flag. We're more than halfway home. It'll be 20 laps to go here at Sonoma, and let's hope they can get through these first couple of corners without wrecking it up. They're fanning out double wide. If they can keep it double wide, I think they're okay. 3 wide is the problem, and they didn't make it. Oh, gosh.
Oh, no, hard in the wall.
That is for sure the end of Carson Gum today.
That was tire barrier with concrete wall
Yeah.
behind it.
I guess you could say the Battle of Carson Gum, the piece of gum broke.
It is not fun to say yum yum.
No.
Almost 3 wide.
Oh.
Going there into...
the turn
Oh,
7.
Destin! Hang on.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on to it.
Well, I think this is about to be a recipe for more disaster.
Yeah, we gotta take a
baby.
look at the S's here, make sure we're able to all
Oh,
make it
hell.
back.
Oh, get off each other!
Oh, no!
Look out,
Oh, we got
babe.
some more trouble in the back.
That was Lamas and Voiles, I believe. And they're
It
still
was.
wrecking further back there.
No, it's the same. It's the same pile of cars. Oh, Qualls.
Walls is around,
Oh,
McIntyre's
man.
around, Fogelman's around.
Don't retire from the race now, Qualls.
It is a bloody mess. Oh no.
Is there going to be anybody left in this race at the end?
I mean,
we still have like 30 some cars left. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine.
oh my goodness gracious.
Colin's going to lead us back here to the 7th caution of the day. I'm trying to
Okay.
remember how many cautions we had at Daytona, but I think we're getting close to eclipsing it.
Yeah, at this point, I'd be as a crew chief and a driver, I would 100% just throw my playbook into the air. Like, done.
It's
I'm
gone.
done.
You're on your own.
at this point.
Hold on,
You're not,
hold
if
on.
if I'm in the front, no, I'm not pitting. I'm making it to the end. I'm done. I'm telling my crew just sit back, relax,
So
have a
basically
drink with an
telling-
umbrella, have some ice cream or whatnot. Like that's it.
Hold on. We can't serious now. We're taking a break. You're what? We're eating ice cream. Ice
No,
cream.
we're done for the day, boys. We're done for the day. Unless we get wrecked, we're done for the day. We're staying out in front.
Yo, crew chief, what's the race winning strategy? Good luck, have fun, don't wreck. Carson Gum. What? I didn't hear you on that last part.
Because we're eating ice cream. Oh wait, what? Yeah, we're having ice cream and oh, hello.
And
all.
high the wall.
We've seen a lot of drivers hit areas of the racetrack that you normally don't see hit. They've been hitting some of the harder areas of this road course.
They just keep finding that not safer barrier areas. Like this area is supposed to be kind of actually no, none of this area is safer barriers. My bad.
Alright, so let's look at the 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many instances we had here through the S's. We'll start with up close to the front with Bolin and
Bolin.
Mills.
There's not. There's one. There's two in the back. Somebody done Boyle back there.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Hi, Billy Mazia for the handy switch. God, I'll stop.
Yeah, next one I think involved Voiles and Lamas.
It might have been just Voiles hitting the curb, and of course just takes out another innocent victim. Oh my goodness! Right in the back was the 24 as well.
Yeah, Fogelman and McIntyre, they must have gotten together in the same area and all ended up in the same landing spot along with the 26 and the 13. This was about 6 or so cars behind. It's just that curbing.
And that curbing has been a lot of trouble with these drivers here today. That's unfortunate.
You are definitely not wrong.
And then what happens to the 70 of Qualls, because this was actually a little bit further back. Happened earlier. He was towards the tail end of the field, and... Oh my gosh!
Oh, he just missed a corner.
That car caught air!
He bunny hopped it.
I want what his suspension is.
This just in, folks. You can't drive a car when the wheels aren't on the ground. That's why it went straight.
Yeah, he bunny hopped that, sir.
Watch this. Boing.
Oh, he just cut the little corner a little bit and just upset the car so much it just spun.
Well, I thought he had contact from the 44 a little bit there, too.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. We're going to go on board with the 80 of Noah Hendrickson and see if he got a view of what happened there with James Qualls.
Oh, hello. Here it comes, and hi!
Boing.
Oh, the 27 did the same thing!
The 44 of Reese Banks was very lucky there. He didn't have his race ended like that.
Yeah, definitely was.
Right?
Destin Boland's very lucky that there was that kind of little access road there off the S's, too, for him to be able to get back onto the racing surface.
I think that access road was when they had IndyCar here at Sonoma a while back.
Yes, and yes. So, this is rather interesting.
Don't think anybody came to pit road.
That's
at least
the right
up here
call.
at the front.
I mean, that's the right call. You got to stay out for the rest of the race. You got to. Unless you're further off in the back and you're pretty much wrecked, you might as well just try to go pit road. I mean, you're going to be in the back anyway, but if you're in the front, like at least like the top 10, top 12, you definitely want to stay out.
Give you an idea of how this race has gone. If you're just tuning in, you only have to look at your top 10. Front end damage on the 43, front end damage and no bumper on the 87, no hood on the 09, and what is Collins doing?
Collins,
What the heck?
What are you doing, bud?
I don't understand that. That's from the lead. Why would you? Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I get he's got to win, so maybe he thinks that playing an outside the box strategy will work. I think he thinks this thing's gonna go green to the end.
Is the crew chief on that car smoking something? Because I want what he has.
Well, you have time to go and find out because the lights are back on the pace car.
Yeah. Get out of your car and run to the 33 crew.
All right, so just an update. Carson Gum is out of the race, if there was any question about that. He's going to finish in 34th here today. And we've got some other drivers that right now, according to my telemetry, are actually scored off the lead lap and are going to be restarting intermingled in the field. They include 26th place on down, Ali Liera, Nathan Norman, Samuel Ryder, Jack Donard, Charles Sanford, Jesse Turner, and Levi McIntyre. You see the 16, the 34, and the 63 are actually all starting up here behind second place and in front of the third place driver, Laura Chung. So this will be interesting with the lap cars intermingled here.
I'd be really shocked if I see that 09 manages to sneak away a top 5 with that. That would be insane.
I mean, he won't overheat. Plenty of,
really
clean air getting to that engine.
I mean, front downforce is basically non-existent though.
The way they'll line up.
It's gonna understeer like hell.
The way they're gonna line up here for this
Let's see.
restart
Is there any back end damage? No.
Yeah,
If there was, it could have made it looser.
You mean loose is fast and on the edge of out of control, sir?
Yeah, the 87, the 16, those two cars don't have any rear bumper.
I mean, that's gonna make the back end slide a lot.
What are you talking about? They haven't been sliding at all today. They just very nearly missed the final run of the S's a couple of times, that's all. RJ Bishop nearly knocked down the wall off of turn 10, but it's all good.
Yeah, Carson Gum knocked the water tower down off going into turn 1.
So could we get like a top 10 run here, Seth?
So we got Ryan Brommer, gonna be our leader when we go back green. Kyle Matthews is in second, Laura Chung third, James Qualls in fourth, after he had that spin out there, that bunny hop through the S's. Benjamin Snyder's up to fifth. Nick Gunther is in sixth. So right now en route for maybe the best finish Mazda's had in the Duracell Cup Series so far this season. Rob Evans up there in seventh. Rob Evans, remember, had a non-charter win back in Season 4 at the Indianapolis Road Course, so running well here today at Sonoma. Jessica Shelton's now up to eighth. Ninth place is Cole Deaver and Keith Batson currently completes the top 10. The weird thing about it, about 3 or 4 of the drivers that I just named off at some point or another in this race, they've been running back at the very tail end of the field, and now they're back up here inside of the top 10. It has been very topsy-turvy for our running order.
It has definitely been confusing, that's for sure. I mean, like, at this point, we don't even know who's going to win because now even the leader could come down the pit road at some point under caution. It just messes everything up.
Yeah, I'm pulling Mark Martin.
Collins is going to restart in 25th as a result of that pitting from the race lead, coming to what was going to be the restart, and now we are going to get that restart as Brommer going to lead us up the hill. We're going to fan through the field again, see if they get through.
Oh, no.
They don't. Qualls got hooked by, I think that was Rob Evans, and Cole Deaver got him, and they're...
Whoa!
How did they not hit each other right there? That was good use of brakes. I mean, at least we know they're not from ARCA. What's Cody Lamas doing?
Whoa, boy.
This is an important battle right here. Ali Liera is a lap down. If she can get past the 87 coming back to the caution, she'd be back on the tail end of the lead lap.
Got 2 more overtaking spots to go. As we come out of turn number 7, now Brommer's still the leader, but Ali is desperate trying to get that lap back. I mean, that would put her right back in contention. For sure.
I was afraid of this. That's why I focused on the 77. Oh, and there's still...
No. Oh my God, there's more. 47 and the 727 also got involved.
Oh my goodness.
And they came flying in, did Osborne and Turner.
Holy moly.
Oh, Ali!
Okay, she's getting her lap back. She's going to get her lap back. Let's see how it goes towards the straightaway, because here comes that 87 now.
It's going to be close.
Looks like the 87 is going to get the position now, and Ali will still be a lap down.
Drag race there. Ali Liera. Oh, whoa.
Don't do that again. Let's not do that again. That is really unfortunate for the 16 to be still a lap down. That was a valiant effort to get that lap back.
Well, let's go back and see what happened there just past the start-finish line.
Oh, no. What we do?
James Qualls was the one that went around. They were 3 wide, and I'm not certain. I think they may have actually tried 4 wide going into that tight corner.
Oh, for God's sake. I mean, 3 wide already wasn't going to work. What makes these guys think that 4 wide's going to work, huh? I mean,
Nick.
4
wide worked at Bowman Gray. What are you talking about?
Unrealistic scenarios, apparently. And somehow I've been proven wrong once, but I'm definitely being proved right this time.
Yeah.
Qualls was running in 4th at the time. That was right up inside of the top 10.
Yeah.
Honestly amazing we didn't have more drivers involved. I think Qualls and Deaver were really the only 2 that sustained damage out of that. It looks like the 08 was very much so off the pace. Now we saw it live with the 77 getting into the 34. Chung was running 3rd. Ormond was a lap down. We'll take a look at what happened here with Jesse Turner. And I believe Joshua... Oh, wow.
Oh, he caught air. He pulled the same thing Qualls and Osborne did.
Yes, he did. Into the 22 of Michael Norman, and then Michael's like, no. And he pushes him off into Joshua Osborne.
You said your face isn't hitting the wall.
Your face is a bunny hop.
Your face is a bunny hop, and hello. Bang. What'd I do?
44 almost gets involved in that too. He was a huge front runner in this race. Hopefully he has enough time to get back up there.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, but what happened to Cody?
I believe he made a pit stop coming to the green.
You're probably right.
Now Jesse Turner is out of the race. Garage area is piling up, but not nearly as rapidly as I expected with the hits we've seen taken today. With Turner's retirement, it's going to be only 11 drivers back in the garage area, leaving us with 31 drivers still on the racetrack, and looks like 25 on the lead lap.
You know what the best part is about this being offline and not in real life?
Nobody gets hurt.
Nobody gets hurt. We don't have to worry about concussion protocol.
Well, I think probably Carson Gum would have been out for a couple of weeks after the hit he took into that wall off of turn 1.
I mean, you right.
So Ryan Brommer, I know that we talk about the next-gen car changing things up, but Ryan Brommer is one of the few drivers in Duracell Cup Series that in his career has driven 3 different manufacturers. He started out running Dodges for Bulldog Motorsports, made the transition over to Chevrolet last year, running along with, I believe it was Dylan Poteen and James Shelley for Pigeon Racing, and now over in a Toyota Camry. Now, does the next-gen car take away the having to get readjusted to a different manufacturer?
I don't think so. I mean, the cars are on paper are supposed to be even in their own ways, but I'm pretty sure like the aerodynamics of a certain car, I'm sure I guess handle a little bit differently. But I mean, it's a brand new car anyway. I mean, it shouldn't be that big of an issue though. The transition though for everyone is just a little bit more concerning though. However.
So lights out top the pace car. Get ready to go back green.
Can
we go green this time, please?
Go green this time.
Ryan Brommer is going to be the leader. Nick Gunther is second, though he is 5th in line. You've got the lap cars of Ali Liera, Sam Ryder, and Jack Dunnard in between him and the 87. Jessica Shelton's up to 3rd. 4th place, Benjamin Snyder. Rob Evans in 6th. Anthony McCrory there in 7th. Ryan Butcher, Michael Norman, Caleb Fogler, and Noah Hendrickson. That is the top 10. A couple of drivers that kind of stand out to me. We talked about drivers circling the road course on their calendar. Very good at the road course prowess. You got Gunther up in 2nd and Anthony McCrory up there in the 6th position. So watch out for those two here in the closing stages.
Right, and now if I'm in the 55 right now and I see these 3 lap cars in front of me, I honestly
Get out of my way.
Essentially,
or you could just have the lead handed to you.
Oh, here we go.
Why is 87 going down pit road?
Pull a Martin 2.0.
There's something wrong with the AI with this sort of thing, because that should not be happening.
He doesn't know which Twix he is. He's coming down pit road to find out.
Well, you might as well be the middle Twix.
And lights are back on the pace car.
Not big surprise.
I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations.
Wait.
That means
So wait, does that mean
That
the
means-
16, the 63, and the 88 get their laps back?
Yeah.
Let's see.
you are correct,
I guess
sir.
so. Looks like the wave around might be happening. I'm not so sure.
We'll see if they have to still stay behind the pace car when it comes back out, or if they're going to be able to go around and get their laps. Doesn't look like they're accelerating. I mean, the good news for them right now is if they can keep the 55 in their rearview mirror on this upcoming restart and catch a quick caution, then they would be able to get back on the lead lap at the tail end of the field.
You see, if I was an official, I would just let these 3 cars go by. I mean,
Yeah, I
the
agree.
leader's already down the pit road. You might as well just let them go around, be back on the tail end. They're already back on the lead lap, essentially as of now.
Hold on. You do know that there's a fix for that, right, Seth?
I do. But you also have to have your console up on the screen, and I don't like that.
You're right.
Well, Nick Gunther chasing history here. We've had Toyotas, we've had Fords, we've had Chevys, we've had Dodges all go to victory lane here, but we've never had a Mazda go to victory lane. Today might be that day. Gunther rolled off the grid from the 24th position, and that lap that he led right there is only his first lap led of this race.
Looks like Brett Bodine finished up a bonus point for the most laps led.
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, he
24
for
laps
sure.
led by the pace car. Next closest only had half that laps led, and that was Dylan Young at 12.
And that 55 car, if my memory serves me correctly here, Seth, that 55 is an experimental car
It
for
is.
one of the teams.
Project car for Fortnite Squad Racing. So far
Even
this
though
season,
the number font seems to be a little bit different, I mean, it's still a project car nonetheless. Essentially, it's kind of like the Johnny Benson.
You're
Essentially-
defining the odds, sir.
Essentially, this type of situation is kind of like the Johnny Benson sort of thing, where it was like an experimental car for Roush back in the late 90s. That tenure didn't go so well.
20th place average finish so far this season for Nick Gunther. 18th in points, still chasing his first top 10 on the year. He's had a couple of finishes inside of the top 15. I believe best finish for this car so far was a 13th place finish, and I believe that was back at North Wilkesboro a couple of weeks ago. So let's see if we actually
I think there needs to be some engine upgrades, I think.
You gotta
You're
talk to
right.
FSR about that.
You gotta talk to RJ.
Alright, well, I've been wanting to do this, and we haven't been able to because we've had all these cautions, so if we have a wreck, we'll look back at it afterwards, but we're going to go inside the 55 race leader, and Nick, take us for a lap here around Sonoma and how you got to make your way through these corners.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get the right angle. Do the far chase for me, actually. All right, as we go towards the we gotta make sure we protect that 0-2. We don't want her to go on the inside. We have to go around these lap cars as best we can as we try to get around the 88, which we think we will. You definitely want to make sure we stay in like third gear here. Maybe third gear. Do you want to shift down here? Now you want to shift down to second gear through the S's through here. Try not to lose the rear end on this section here as the 88 will just go off the track. See you later. As we go up the hill, back down the hill, third gear, down to second gear. He's gonna watch out for that 2. Oh no! I don't think the car there. I'm also gonna lose the lead with the 0-2 there as she took the better got the better of me. As that was a good defensive measure by the 0-2 there to protect me from going to the inside there. As we come out of turn 7 now towards S's. You definitely in this area you definitely want to set up for that turn 11, because that is really like the last area for passing, but I might be able to just get around this 0-2 here if she keeps messing up like this, but let's see. Oshio's going to have a good line here. He's going to make sure you don't hop the curb here in turn 10, and you're fine. Now, in this area, of course, it's not me actually driving here, but I would just go down the inside of turn 11 and either give the 0-2 the bump or just basically have a clear overtake on her. And you definitely want to go down the first gear of that, and that's about a lap at Sonoma. That was very chaotic. Jesus.
You saw the caution was out when they were making their way through 4 and 5. One of the things I liked there, though, when we were on board with the 55 was that final right-hander through the S's. You heard him bail out of the throttle to be able to then get back into the gas heading down towards turn 10, be able to get that momentum. That's one of the tougher areas of the S's, because if you carry too much speed, we've already seen a number of drivers here today go off into that sand.
You do not want to go into that sand because that's going to be a whole lot of momentum lost going into turn 11, and turn 11 is so crucial. That's a lot of places where you could gain or lose spots throughout the day.
Yes, that be. Anyway, the 16 and the 63 are gone and going to catch up to the rest of the field.
Yes, they are. We're ahead of the race leaders when they got to the start-finish line, so they'll go around and be at the tail end of the field. We saw Shelton take the lead for the first time today during that battle, and we will see what actually brought out this caution flag. See if it might have been with the 87 of Ryan Brommer, who had come to pit road. Oh, did we have ourselves another restart stack up perhaps here? Well, no, it doesn't appear so, although the 65 was wide. Oh, yeah.
The 65 had to be the cause or something like that caution, because he was P4 at the start.
Boy, that was again up right at the front.
I mean, you were too busy looking at the 55, and then there was this whole chaos happening behind us.
Reggie Fogelman in the 24. Lap machine gets into the back of Evans. It was Anthony McCrory that got Rob
Just can't
Evans.
keep that car out of trouble, can he?
Nope. Well, remember when I said that there were drivers coming into this race that were going to have this date circled on their calendar? I think there's going to be some drivers leaving today that are going to cross it out saying, why'd I even want to go here?
More like,
You're
no,
right.
It's now illegal to run at Sonoma.
Oh, no.
Pit road's open. Looks like Cody Lamas might be coming to pit lane. He was in 14th. Had some front end damage there. I don't know if I didn't see him get a bit of that incident, but maybe he did. Looks like everybody else, though, going to stay out here. See the 65 coming to pit road.
I definitely never would have guessed that 74 car to be in third place right now.
Well, what do you expect? He's a road course ringer.
Third place right now for Benjamin Snyder. Snyder so far this season, 34th in points. Did get a top 5 this year. Looking for his second top 5 of his career. It's interesting when you look back at the races here, the 2 previous races. Chevrolet and Dodge have won here, but Ford and Toyota have not. You got a Mazda in second, you got a Ford in third, and you've got a Toyota in fourth. So an opportunity for all three of those manufacturers to get their first checkered flag in the history of this road course and Duracell Cup Series competition.
And this is a huge race for the Mazda team because Mazda, they're known for their road racing across like either the world and of course they just recently left IMSA as winners. Actually, they just left the after they won the final race of I think 2020. I want to say. I know it's like a few years now. I haven't seen Mazda in the grid, but of course the famous win that happened for Mazda was all the way back in 1991. Where a orange and green car, number 55, just happened to be the last car, one of the cars that just survived through that area of the 24 hours of Le Mans. And now Mazda, all the way now in America, just wants to have a shot at having a road race. And, of course, the 55, and Nick Gunther definitely wants to take a chance.
Looks like Reggie Fogelman is the latest retiree. He'll finish 32nd, and maybe it's just me. I'm sure there are other people out there that say that, but I believe, Nick, you're the first person I've ever heard call it IMSA. I've never heard somebody actually spell out the letters. I've always heard them say IMSA. So I had to stop for a minute and think of what you said. It was so foreign to me.
Yeah, it's the same thing, though. IMSA, IMSA is usually like the full name for it. Man, it's been such a while since I watched the road races. I just kind of stopped because Mazda's not there anymore.
I don't think I've ever watched an IMSA race, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. If I did, I don't remember it.
They're usually long, though. They're usually like long and just more like patiently battling because it's raced on time.
Oh, so you mean this race? Because this race has been long.
Well, yeah, not as chaotic though.
You know, you're right. They don't go 3 wide on the restarts, do they?
Maybe at the end of the race, I'm not so sure.
We're gonna have 27 cars on the lead lap when we go back green. Your top 3 are all on the lead lap in this running order: Shelton, Gunther, and Snyder. Then you got some lap machines back to 4th place Ryan Butcher, 5th place Anthony McCurry, then Michael Norman, RJ Bishop, Mitchell Collins, Noah Hendrickson, James Qualls. That is the top 10. Are we finally done with cautions today? Probably not, but we'll see, as it's going to be a total of 9 laps to go. And we're looking 3 wide already, and RJ Bishop is going to save it.
What a save by the 98.
Whoa!
Now the question is, did he save it quickly enough for us to not have a caution, or was the car being sideways enough for the yellow to fly? No, we're still green.
We're still green. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That was a heck of a save by the 98.
Yeah,
Excellent car control.
My goodness.
McCrory and Daniel Voiles ran wide there out of 4 and 4A. Now Hendrickson trying to take a spot from McCrory. This would move him, I think, up to the 5th position. No, to 6th spot.
Hang on,
guys, come on.
Guys. No.
Oh, they made it. They made it.
They're making it so far, but here comes the far back. It looks like 26. 28, my mistake.
Woo! He just sideswiped his teammate Mills. Did they all make it through the S's safely, basically? Oh, well, no, Kyle Matthews did not.
Oh.
No caution, though.
Damage. That's more damage to the 09.
How will we be able to tell? The hood's missing. Oh, now the caution's out.
Now the caution's out.
Oh, something up at the turn 11.
Oh, no.
Turn 11.
That's Matt Haas and Sam Ryder. The 63s impaled the tire barrier.
How?
Look out, Kyle! Oh, gosh.
Kyle Matthews! Oh, my God. How did he not hit him?
Rest in peace, Sam Ryder.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, that guy must just got impaled by the driver on the driver's side. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope so, too, but my God.
I don't know if he and Haas got together. I saw the 8 around when Shelton was crossing the line. I saw him in the background, but I don't know if he spun in reaction to the 63 or if the two of them got together. Well, we're going to find out. Osborne, the 27's on pit lane, so maybe he might have gotten the 63.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
what?
What the?
What?
Whoa.
What the Sam doing?
All right, so Matt Haas.
I can't even tell what car that is.
This is the 8 of Matt Haas.
Going dirt track.
Gonna run it wide.
Like he's saying, I got it.
Oh!
He hits the wall a little bit. That explains the damage to the 27, and the 28 just hits him. A lot of people just went down the pit road to avoid him, but unfortunately, the 63 of Samuel Ryder just did not have the leeway room.
And
I think a
Kyle.
couple of people just RK out of nowhere. No, Matt gets to live another day.
And it sounded like somebody else hit the tire barriers further up. Not certain who that was. Let's see if maybe it might have been the 27 of Osborne.
We'll see.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What a hit!
That car's out of the race. That ain't coming back.
No question.
Tony Stewart's very familiar with that area of the tire barriers. It's where he was sitting when
Yeah.
Vickers sent him.
Yep.
Now, he saw drivers come into pit road. I believe that most of them were drivers that were serving pass-through penalties for restart violations from some of the previous restarts. They made the commitment line before the caution came out, I think, but I don't know if their black flag would have been cleared because they would have been on pit road during the caution.
It was awfully close, though, on that commitment line, though, Seth, because it was, like, red when they were getting ready to cross it, too, though.
Yeah, those drivers that still have a black flag, it looks like, that they need to have cleared for a pass-through include the 12 of Destin Bolin, Dylan Young, who's led the most laps here today, Jose Mills, and Matt Haas. Well, Matt's got obviously some damage, so his pass-through penalty may actually have him in his pit stall for a while, too. And I'm trying to figure out, yeah, if we end up having another caution on this next restart, we'd have one more attempt, I do believe. I don't think we're to the point of no return just yet, but it's getting close here.
That 33 car is coming, guys. He went down the pit road from the lead, mind you, earlier, and now he's back into the top 10. I think it's like 6th.
5th place, actually. Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
All right, so top 5 then. So he's on a charge, and he has fresher
indeed.
tires than these guys in front. Be on the lookout for that 33.
I guess you could say Mitchell Collins has a rally towel now?
Yeah. I mean, Collins...
he'll be definitely rallying up the field, that's for sure.
Remember I said when we questioned him coming to pit road, I have no idea about the Ryan Brommer strategy, but Mitchell Collins already has a victory. He's 5th in the point standings, so he's in a playoff spot right now with that previous win at Manassas. Try something. Roll the dice. Go outside the box in strategy. Get some fresher tires and see if you can work your way up through the field, and it may have been the right call. We'll have to wait and see. These restarts have been crazy, so it certainly has helped him as well to be able to make it through and pick up spots, yeah.
Somehow he survived all of them, and that was the thing I was worried about the most.
Our rookie points are going to get a shake-up here as well because Reggie Fogelman's out of the race, Zachary Fitzwater's out of the race, William Hoer's out of the race. The one driver that was inside of the top 4 in rookie points, 4 points out of the points lead, was Jack Dunnard. He's a lap down in 26th place, but it might be enough for him to take the rookie points lead. The other driver that might be able to take the rookie points lead be the 80 of Noah Hendrickson, who is on the lead lap in 7th. He was 13 points out of the points lead, though. Most points a driver can gain as a rookie of the race is 10 points, so he'll get close, but I think it's the ball's kind of in the court of the 80 of Jack Dunnard to maybe take the rookie points lead heading to next week. But Shelton, Gunther, Snyder, Norman, Collins, that's the top 5. Then McCrory, Hendrickson, Voiles, Norman, and Bishop. That's the top 10. You've got our pole sitter, Reese Banks, in 11th. Still trying to go coast to coast here. It's possible, depending on what happens on this upcoming restart. Is this the final time that the flagman's going to have to wave the green flag? Will he be able to just hang on to that white flag?
His arm's getting tired.
It's got to be, right? Going to have to ice that thing when he gets home, and, well, he's got more work to do. Oh, well, yeah, he does. I thought we might actually have had it saved, but Voiles and Norman getting together, and the caution lights are indeed on. And that was contact around the 8th position. Collins overdrove. Oh, and Gunther for the lead.
Oh,
same move that Shelton put on him 2 restarts ago.
make a
Oh,
dive to the
hello!
inside. And new leader, 55, and that 88's trying to try to get that lap back if he can get around the 02. Doesn't look like he's going to make it through here in the S's.
Oh,
So gotta stay patient here.
no.
Shelton's going to
Benjamin
get
Snyder's just sitting pretty in
clear.
third right now. Oh, no, be careful on that S's. Oh, that's the worst
Oh,
look
no,
on you.
Dylan Young,
Oh,
Ryan Brommer.
Dylan Young. I guess you could say. I guess you could say the 87 will not be buying his Twix at Wawa.
Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So Levi McIntyre,
I'll
he
probably go
went a
to Sheets
little wide
Potatoes.
there off of 10, but he kept it on the track, and caution out. Next restart, guys, I'm pretty sure it's going to be our last one. It's going to be
For sure.
It's going to be the pretty much the go or go home point of the race.
Absolutely. You gotta at this point you gotta just go for it. You have to go full send every lap from this point forward. You can't be patient anymore. 2 laps is is a decent length, but it's still very short nonetheless because it's only 2 laps. You definitely want to go full hard at this point. I know I would.
Now, 2 restarts ago, Shelton made the move on Gunther out of 4 down into 5. Gunther, this restart, did the exact same thing. They've kind of both showed the hand, so it's really going to be interesting on this final restart what they're going to do. And Benjamin Snyder's sitting back there saying, hey, you two mix it up. I'd be more than happy to sneak on by and pick up my first career win.
That's exactly what you got to do if you're in 3rd place. You just got to. I mean, I was in an online race a few nights ago. I was just minding my business in 3rd place, and the top 2 leaders took each other out and just sailed on by for the win. So it is still possible that can happen.
Ryan Brommer will not reach the conclusion of this race. Tough break there for the 87. We'll go back and see what initially brought out the caution. It was a half spin, I guess, with Norman and Voiles. They managed to gather it back up, which is why I was a little bit surprised the caution did come out. They made contact for the 8th position, but I believe that they didn't lose any spots after this contact. I think they still are running in the 8th and 9th positions. Oh, it was R.J. Bishop that got into Voiles, actually, and Michael Norman was an
heavy
innocent
contact
bystander.
there. They did a good job of keeping it straight, but man, that's got to be a lot of damage in that 26.
And then we thought that maybe we were going to see the contact through the S's between the lap machine of Jack Dunnard and 3rd place Benjamin Snyder, but it ended up being Dylan Young and Ryan Brommer that got together. Let's fast forward to the S's and see what happens. I think it's probably going to be the curb hop again that we've seen all day long.
I could already see the 87 already having his right sides on the sand, and there it goes. How frustrating that must be for the 2 car and the 87. They were both trying to get up there to the field as fast as they can, and just unfortunately the over-aggression just gets the both of them.
Ryan Brommer was out in front for 4 laps. We saw him come to pit road when they were getting ready to go back green from the lead. Dylan Young had 12 circuits out in front, so 2 drivers that had, well, I was going to say enjoyed clean racetrack, but Dylan Young did have 2 or 3 lap machines in front of him when he was the leader at one point.
And how about the pace car driver leading the most laps of the race today?
That?
How about Brett Bodine being the Giga Chad out there on the racetrack right now? Pacing this field, leading this field.
32 laps led. How about that?
That is very impressive for a track like this. I mean, he could get himself a win here at this rate.
It would be the first win of the season for Toyota. I know they're vastly outnumbered. I know there's only 3 entries out of Auto Junction Racing and 2 out of Haas Racing, but if Brett Bodine gets Toyota the first win of the season.
It'd be Toyota's first win of season 6. It'd be the first pace car victory, no less.
Well, we may be seeing history here. We may end up getting to see Mazda with their first victory in Duracell Cup Series competition, but Gunther's got Shelton's Chevrolet and Snyder's Ford behind him. Then there's the lap car of Jack Dunnard there that could certainly be an X factor. We saw him mixing it up with these top 3 on that last restart. 4th place, Ryan Butcher. 5th place, Anthony McCrory. Then Collins, Bishop, Qualls, Reese Banks, and Noah Hendrickson. That is the top 10. We've got 23 drivers on the lead lap, 27 drivers still running. We mentioned Ryan Brommer out of the race. Failed to mention that under the last caution, Caleb Fogler, who we saw get off into the S's, he had gone to the garage area, so he'll get credited for the 29th position. But this is it. This is the final restart of the day. We would not get back green flag racing because this is 3 to go, and we would not be able to have the 1 lap to open up pit road for everybody and then be able to go back green. So this is it. This is going to be the run to decide it all. We're going to stay up at the front because we've seen a couple of good battles here between Gunther and Shelton on the last 2 or 3 restarts. If trouble breaks out, your NSRA split cam will show you what's going on, but we're going to keep it here at the front because this is the battle for the win. Gunther, his last victory was Bristol Dirt of last season. Jessica Shelton's last victory, if I recall correctly, was back at Armory Digital Super Speedway back in Season 3. And Snyder's looking for his first career win, and now we are definitely going to have a point of no return because the lights are on the pace car, so a 1-lap shootout it looks like here. Or no, green-white checkered.
If you're the leader like the 55 is,
You're loving this, right?
Yeah,
No, you're probably cursing on the radio to your crew chief wondering what the is going on.
No, but it's one last lap that you have to worry about defending the top spot.
I mean,
That is true.
I'd be okay with that. But as I was trying to say before, if you're the leader like the 55 is right now, you gotta have a cool head at all times. You gotta be able to not fall into the pressure of the cars behind you. If they just outdrive you, they just outdrive you. But if you're like second or third or even like maybe fourth place on there, you gotta put on the pressure as best as you can and just get around as clean, but also as hard as you can. Try to give the car space, and you should be able to have a clean pass.
Most of the passes we've seen late in this race have been from 4 to 4A to 5. Is that where Nick's got to be at his most defensive here? Because that seems like really the key passing zone, it seems, for the top spot.
Yeah, I was quite surprised, actually, that 4 and 4A were pretty much the passing zones here today. I know definitely turn 7, that's right after turn 4. And we have, of course, turn 11 being the passing zone. I was surprised we haven't seen more of turn 11 today.
So it will be a green-white checkered. Next flag will end the race. Race could end under caution if a yellow flag waves between when they take the green flag and come back around to the start-finish line. But if we do not have the caution fly, regardless of what happens on that final lap, they will race back to the checkers. You look at drivers here today that could take advantage of snagging the points lead away from William Hoer, who's had a stranglehold on that points lead ever since Las Vegas. The one that stands out to me right now is that 33 of Mitchell Collins. Former winner from Manassas, running in the 6th position, was only 14 points out of the points lead coming into today. James Qualls is going to be up there inside of the top 3 or 4 in points as well. 9th in points coming to this one, and he's going to restart in 8th. And RJ Bishop running in 7th. He was 10th in points coming to this race, so it's going to be some big points-paying days for some of those drivers, provided they can keep their car in one piece in this final 2-lap shootout, because we've seen a majority of our late cautions take place with contact up inside of the top 10. So what do you think? We finishing this thing under green, or are we racing back to the caution?
Oh, no.
Also, Qualls
What is Qualls doing?
Qualls going down pit road.
And Qualls is giving up 8th.
Bum, bum, ba-dum,
That's going to drop him all the way back to 23rd, so not certain what's amiss on that car, but man, was just hyping up that he was going to have a good points-paying run, and
they just
just
called
like
him
that,
in.
it's gone. Well, here we go.
Green flag.
Green-white checker to finish it out here at Sonoma. Gunther up through the gears. Shelton was there with him, and she's going to make the move to the inside, going up into turn 1.
Oh, boy.
Which line's preferred? Gunther's going to hold her off. Snyder now looking for 2nd. I think we had a wreck in the back. I think the caution may be out, so we're racing back to the proverbial checkers, and Gunther's pulling away. Snyder into 2nd place. And look at the gap, about 3-4 car lengths up to the race leader.
Gunther now just taking a huge lead now at this point over to 74, who is a surprising 2nd place right now. well done by the 74 Ford right there, as Jessica Shelton just had to be the biggest loser out of that whole
Oh,
restart.
Gunther overdrove!
Oh, no!
Whoa!
What are you doing?
this?
How did you choke that?
Snyder's going to the lead! Is the caution out, though, is the question. I couldn't see any caution lights. Yes, the caution is out!
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What is this?
Benjamin
Coming off
Snyder
the turn
out of
11 into
11.
12?
He's
Holy
gonna
moly.
see the caution, and Snyder's gonna make it the 4th rookie to pick up a checkered flag this season in 8 races.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
You had one job to not choke like that when you're in the lead like that. You can't fall under pressure like that, and that's what it essentially costed him.
Ford has 4 victories this season. They're about to pick up their 5th. Mazda is going to get their best finish as, oops, sticky keys. Wow.
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, we mentioned it. Snyder was going to be lying in wait, looking to see if someone made a mistake. Lake Effect Autosport's about to get their first victory on the season. It'll be a coast to coast for Lake Effect Autosport. Their rookie Reese Banks was on the pole, and the other rookie Snyder's going to close it out with the victory. And a driver that came into this race 34th in the point standings. This is going to be a shot in the arm of momentum to try and get back up into the top 25 in the standings, but I said it at the beginning of the season. If there's a season you want to break in as a rookie where it's going to be a level playing field, this would have been the season with the next-gen car, because even the veterans are relearning everything that they've known with this new race car, with the new gearing system, with how it handles, the grip levels, what have you. And it's all come to fruition because the rookie stripes have meant nothing. We've had William Hoer, we've had Jack Dunnard, Zachary Fitzwater, all find victory lane. And we're about to have it be 50% of the races so far this year won by drivers donning those rookie stripes. That last time by, when they crossed the line, the white flag was over the hood of the Live Reality Games Ford Mustang.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
What is going on?
What the hell is going on is right. Benjamin Snyder just pulled a Mark Martin.
I didn't even look at my telemetry. The 74 got a restart violation, apparently, and is having to serve it here.
Oh my goodness.
That is a massive turn of events.
What is going on?
That's a
Coming
controversy. That is a controversy waiting to happen for all the
Yeah.
stuff that's going on.
We talked about Brett
Wow.
Bodine and Asterix. Is Mazda gonna have an asterisk next to its first career victory?
You know, like
Checkered
this
flag is
What
out.
the heck?
What in the world just happened?
Nick Gunther, his 2nd career win, first win in the history of Duracell Cup Series for Mazda.
in the most unorthodox way.
Every time. I said this last week at Indy. Every time I think I got the race figured out, it throws me a curveball. What is this season?
What the hell? Like I said at the top of the hour. This is the everybody's on. This is what?
Now Snyder, he's not going to get the victory, but his pit stall was just before the start-finish line, so he served the penalty and crossed the line in 5th. He's still going to get a top 5. I know he would have wanted the win, but
Yeah, but what?
Mazda's first career victory here at Sonoma. We knew Nick Gunther was going to be a factor with it being a road course. We knew that was going to be the case, but I didn't expect the win was going to happen like this.
Definitely a shock way to end this race. That's for sure. Absolutely.
You're telling
especially since he choked it at the end. He absolutely just Chase Elliott in his early years just choked it up and just like that. But he manages to get a little bit lucky there at the end.
What a topsy-turvy race this was.
I can't tell you what the heck's going on with this anymore. I have no explanation for any of this.
12 cautions today. Some good restarts late. Some good battling between Nick Gunther and Jessica Shelton. And then when
what
we
was
think
that,
that Snyder's going to get his first career victory, then He has to come to pit road for a restart violation. And Nick Gunther is going to maybe make more history later on this season. If he can keep himself up in the top 25 in points with this victory, Mazda may make the playoffs for the first time in Duracell Cup Series history.
Playoffs? You're talking about the playoffs?
There's gonna be some parties in Hiroshima, Japan later
my
on tonight.
Goodness. Well, standings I think are official. My telemetry is all over the place.
Hold on. Telemetry.exe it stopped working, sir.
Oh my goodness. Well, here it is. They're official. Gunther's the winner. Shelton in second. Ryan Butcher third. Anthony McCrory in fourth. Snyder's going to get fifth after he had to come to pit road coming to the checkers. Collins in sixth. Reese Banks, after starting on the pole, good run for him, in seventh. Voiles, Evans, and Deaver is the top 10, but I'm still in shock. I don't understand what just happened.
Okay, I
officially don't understand logic now.
I think I understand what's going on, because this has been happening all race, where sometimes the leaders had to come down to pit road. Do you think those guys must have had a restart violation to caution prior?
Could have possibly been, yeah.
With all the wrecks that we
Nothing
had,
showed up on my telemetry for them, though, which is what is the really odd thing.
So, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Maybe those guys that really just came down to pit road, I guess they had a restart violation. That makes no sense, because they pitted the lap afterwards.
So, the thing that I'm
odd.
wondering, maybe with the 74, and this may be incorrect, I noticed that on that last restart, when they were coming around out of turn 11, the whole stack up that takes place with them slowing for that corner, the 74 was to the inside of the 02. I'm wondering if he might have barely passed the 02, and that was considered passing under yellow, forcing him to have to forfeit that top spot, serving that pass-through penalty or that stop and go. I don't know.
That would happen.
Here's what
I saw a whole lot of people trying to pass on the inside or the right side of each other before the start-finish line, and that's probably what's causing it. I mean, it's probably the AI just not paying attention very well with that corner, I guess. I don't know. That should have been the 74's win.
Well, you see the finishing results. It doesn't tell the story of what we ended up witnessing here today.
Brett Bodine is the official winner.
Yeah, at this point, you might as well just say Brett Bodine got the win and not the 55.
Brett Bodine. There you go. I think Brett's probably going to take to social media and say he was the winner.
I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him one bit.
And you see the names down here that did not reach the conclusion. Some of them that kind of jump out are ones that were up there at the top of the point standings. William Hoare, obviously the points leader, coming in 41st today. Fitzwater coming off that victory to Indy last week, dead last today. He was 8th in points. And Chris Dollerton, boy, after getting that Daytona 500 victory, cannot get himself back inside the top 25 in points. Another poor performance today in 36th. So still a lot of regular season to go. Still has plenty of time to get up there, but not a lot of momentum heading in the direction of that 43 car, at least in the last couple of weeks. But this was insanity. I mean, we got some more road courses coming up, and I'm hoping they're not going to follow this type of line of what we saw here today, but a keep on your toes type of race here at Sonoma. Closing thoughts, guys.
I'm at a loss for words.
I don't know. I mean, I think we need to go to a different Sonoma.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Well, nonetheless, history is made here today at Sonoma in wine country. Nick Gunther puts Mazda in victory lane for the first time in Duracell Cup Series history. If you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like.
No, Seth. No. If you enjoyed today's insanity, give this video a like.
If you still have any brain cells left, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. You've seen your full feature results. These are the point standings after the fallout of today's first road course of the season. Nick, Allie, it's been a crazy one here. I appreciate you sticking it out with me here today. I mean, hopefully you guys still have some brain cells left, but appreciate you guys joining me here for commentary in this one here today in wine country.
404, brain cells not found.
Have you
You're
tried
right.
turning it off and turning it back on again?
Maybe you could try refreshing the page. Maybe that might help. Oh, no, never mind. Still 404
Still
error.
404.
Yep.
Oh my
Might
god.
want to check the network.
Link's broken.
Might want to check the network.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week as we continue on the regular season, getting closer to All-Star Race break. We are heading to Texas Motor Speedway for some 1.5 mile racing. Until then, for Nick Gunther, Al Liliera, I'm Seth Cole. We'll see you guys next time. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing and pacing at its best.
You're right. Holy shit.